Are you guys excited?
We're excited.
We're kicking this challenge off with a bang. We're starting at day one. We're starting at the foundation. We're starting at your MVP. Because if you want to launch something this week, guess what you have to have?
Your most viable product?
Your most viable product. The thing that you can actually push out the door and ask people to buy. Get it up and ready so you can be making some money this week and just do hard things. But what the heck is an MVP? What's your most viable product? How do we figure this out? We're going to work it through you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing I really want you to start thinking about is, what is it that comes naturally to you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you innately just amazing at?
Yes.
It might already be something you offer in your business, or if you just have an idea for a business, it might be something you've been toying around with already. But I want you to identify those strengths of yours and what would be an ideal product or service to put out into the world that matches what you're really freaking good at.
Now, when you start to answer those questions, you might be tempted to go to the end game, right? We all sit here and we're like, okay, but I have these big dreamy businesses and I want this idea and I want this goal to be this big, lofty, dreamy, cushy, beautiful thing. But you might not be able to get that right out the gate. And we are all about bringing in profit as soon as we can. We're all about keeping our eye on the money in a good way, right? Because it funds our dreams, right? It makes us a little less hustle-frazzled. It makes us less stressed out about all of the things. And it makes us feel pretty proud about what we're putting out into the world. So that's why we suggest you start here and with these basic questions so you can figure out the thing that's going to be easiest for you to push out to market really, really quickly, okay? So we want you to spend 30 minutes going through your workbook and going through this worksheet where we have guided questions for you to kind of dig through these hard things. So these are the questions that if you spend just a half hour on filling out, questions like, what am I really good at? What comes naturally to you? And what can you do with your eyes closed? Those very basic questions lead to a lot of aha moments like, oh, this is the thing.
Oh, like I never really thought about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the next step after you've done all of that and you've really started to identify your strengths, we're going to push you a little bit and get you a little bit out of your comfort zone. And we want you to talk to 5 people. And we want to have you take the time and start brainstorming with those friends and those family members so that you can see what they think you're good at.
Yep. Because once you get that feedback from strangers, right? People who know you a little bit, who are in tune with like how great of a human being you are, but might not be in tune with the big dreamy ideas you want your business to be, that's when these ideas of what that actual possible product or service could end up being. So if people are like, oh my gosh, you're really good at like getting to the root of a problem and listening to my needs and giving me a solution that's tangible. Maybe we offer some coaching or strategy sessions first because you can get those right out the door. You don't need to learn anything new to offer it. You don't have to go buy a whole bunch of product to offer it. You can put it up in your shop this week, right? So sometimes we're kind of like too stuck in our heads and we don't really know the thing that we're good at because we're just so good at it, right? And it just comes so naturally to us that we forget that other people need something like that. And so when you start to hear this feedback from your friends and your family, and even if you already have a little bit of a community built up, asking them as well, what is it that really makes you come to this community? What do you listen to me for? Why are you interested in being here? You'll be able to pull out some of those nuggets. So then we want you to spend a half hour brainstorming, okay, from all of this amazing feedback, from the things that people said, this is what I come to you for, how can I turn that into a product?
I know it sounds like incredibly simple, and it is, but it's also going to push you. So for some of you, this is going to be doing something you may not like want to do forever.
Right.
It could mean offering something that's sort of like the step 0 to your dreamy thing. But that's okay because we're focused 100% on making sure that the offer you put out into the world, you already have all the skills and talents to do.
Yep.
You already have all the resources you need. You don't need to learn anything additional to make this thing come to life. All you have to do is take your resources, put it together, and get it launched later this week.
So fill out those worksheets where you're filling out ideas for what those different offers could be, and then take it back to that same focus group, right? Your mom, your sister, your friend, your community, it doesn't matter what it is, and say, okay, based off your feedback, here are some ideas I have that I think could be tangible products or services. What do you think? What would you call this thing? What would you want there to be included in this thing? And how would you like it to serve you in your life? Maybe it's in your business, in your health, in your relationships, it doesn't matter. And what will come from that are potential, like, actual product name ideas that we can take even further into this challenge to do more with. You might get feedback on what people don't need or want out of that product or service. So you can make sure that you're not wasting time or energy creating something that people don't even need or want. It's this brainstorming session and this initial brain dump that's going to bring out one shiny object for you to run with this week for you to actually launch.
I know.
How
crazy.
incredible, right?
So realistically, we want you to not overthink this. You need to really start at the basics. You don't have to make it crazy complicated. You don't have to make it flashy or like gold and glittered.
Nope.
Like, this is about getting down to basics and really thinking about what you have in front of you.
Yep.
Now there's just one more step that you need to do to make this day come to a close. So make sure you fill out that workbook. We are giving you tangible things to start thinking about, and even like Mad Lib style fill in the blanks, so that you can share with the world what you have up your sleeve. And you have the opportunity to share that in the group today. So we can't wait to see what you have for your product and what your ideas are and what people are saying about you. We're so excited to have you get started.